Yeah, Amanda, what a weekend it was for Caden. He did get to shotgun that beer. There it is right there. He had to celebrate with the fans, Michael. He couldn't go up in the stands, but this continued. He got that Arc Menard Series win before the Truck Series win. He told me he partied all night with his buddies, stayed up till 4 in the morning, and he got up after 3 hours of sleep, drove to Ace Speedway, and that's where he picked up not 1, but 2 more wins. So that is 4 within 30. Dragon was here this week as well.
Well, also NASCAR and Goodyear has given these teams an extra set of tires for this session. Just wear. There's so much wear when you first hit the racetrack. And you can see how the track from top to bottom has been treated with the resin. And that's just to try to help tire wear, help these guys have plenty of places to go in the corners when they get there.
Just 4 truckers out on track so far. Lots of practice time.
Gap car into 3. Middle of 3 and 4. Go ahead and roll. He's restart zone now. The 81 rolled him. 81's a new gap car. He's into 1, still got a straightaway back. Go ahead and roll hard here, whatever you need. Got the 81 coming over your shoulder. 17 rolling out with you. So you got plenty of room out back. 15 out back. 20 out back. Whatever you need here.
35, 37. So exactly where we were shooting for.
10-4.
All those happen between lap 2 and lap 4. But feel it out. Your gap's middle of the backstretch. If you can get by these guys, we'll hustle. You in the 12, room for both. It's over a straightaway. Got 2 more off of 4. At the line. 1 more. Next one in 3. Majeski. Off of 4. You can give yourself some room. The 12 has been out there. At the line. 88 by himself. Into 1. Give yourself a little clean air. Middle 1 and 2 behind. He is done. Nothing out back. Gear fan on.
There, and he wants his ACL plugged.
Just look at him real good. It will sneak up on us here. Pretty good. Pretty neutral over.
Like it's the whole truck. It doesn't feel like it's just the front end or the rear end. And I like slide up the track, and it feels like it doesn't want to keep rotating and turning around the corner. But overall, like that makes it then feel free and tight because I'm like, it feels like a four-wheel slide like up the track. And then it gets tight once it like fully finishes landing and I'm up the track when I'm like in that second groove. And then once it finally cuts and turns is when I can get back to the gas.
Racing oriented, and you can see just the crazy guy we see on TV on Sundays turning all serious right now, glancing in the mirror, barreling down this back straightaway, making sure those belts are tight, and let's give this a go. We see on TV, this is different. Been a couple years since he's been behind the wheel of anything racing oriented, and you can see just the crazy guy we see on TV on Sundays. The 12 truck. Oh, hear him there off the gas. Let's see what it sounds like down in 3. I like the commitment there, Jamie. Really hard on the throttle. Didn't go well off turn 2, but he was able to get with it in 1 and 3 and 4.
24.52.
This will be considerably quicker because of the big slip he had off turn 2, and you can see the truck ahead of him, Butterbean Queen. Butterbean's currently top 10, and that truck isn't getting any smaller, so Clint's keeping pace with him.
And you're right. Up to 8th for Boyer with a 23.25 after just a couple of laps
Right
out.
there, 23.25.
That's a good start for this man.
It's wild how much he moves around inside there. Look at his head.
Well, this track will throw you out of the truck if you're not tied in properly. It's really all about commitment here, G-forces, and a lot of speed.
Well, we go from a veteran that knows his way around this place to someone who's here for the first time. Destiny Spurlock making her Truck Series debut, 34 years old, from King William, Virginia, about 2 hours from here. Made her ARCA debut just a few weeks ago at Kansas, finished 10th after being spun at the end of the race. First black woman to compete in NASCAR at any national series level. What a woman, what a story she has, Amanda.
Absolutely, Jamie. And today on May 15th, 2026, this
national bitter to someone who's here.
Truck if you're not tied in properly. It's really all about commitment here, G-forces, and a lot of speed.
Well, we go from a veteran that knows his way around this place to someone who's here for the first time. Destiny Spurlock making her Truck Series debut, 34 years old, from King William, Virginia, about 2 hours from here. Made her ARCA debut just a few weeks ago at Kansas, finished 10th after being spun at the end of the race.
the interiors and street Destiny.
This ride has definitely been and give me all that I need to be able to be great at it.
Well, I know you got to get in that truck. Good luck today.
Yeah, she is a motorcycle drag racer in the NHRA. She's been doing that since she was 17.
Hop on the racetrack here with Seabell. Last time he was with us, went to Victory Lane.
What a cool win it was for him, for that Friesen-Halmar team. Jimmy Villeneuve, his crew chief. It was a reunion of sorts. They worked together back in his championship year.
Well, we've gotten down into the 22-second bracket, as you can see on the screen, and look how close things are up front. A pair of 92s and a 93 is third. So
we had a tie on the lap time last week at Watkins Glen.
Of all places.
Yeah, of all places.
There's a lot can go on a lap at Watkins Glen, and it's the same here. It's same but different here at Dover. If you think about, just think about when Boyer went out. We heard him come off turn 2, get a little bit sideways, had to correct the truck, let off the gas. He goes down into turn 3 like nothing happened, wide open around the track. He makes his lap, went top 10 at the time. So this just shows you how committed you've got to be here at Dover.
There's a good look at Kyle Busch in a 7 truck, a 23.09 for him. That's about 155 miles per hour around this high-banked concrete 1-mile oval.
Happening upon Stuart Friesen there, Christopher Bell's team owner.
Kyle Busch, the only former winner actually in the field. He's done a lot of winning here, Michael.
About every way you can.
In every series.
That's right.
4 Dover wins in the Truck Series, most all time. Won the last 3 Dover starts.
That sounds about like Kyle Busch,
Right?
doesn't it?
Most laps led at Dover all time.
He's won in the O'Reilly Series. He's won in the Cup Series. He's just done it all. And, you know, everywhere we go, we say this, but it never gets old for me to celebrate the accomplishments this man has behind the wheel of a NASCAR vehicle.
And he certainly hasn't forgotten how to drive.
I'm interested to hear what Clint says or thinks about this truck. Let's listen in.
Just too tight everywhere right there. It's not really that tight getting into the corner, but center off on the throttle at the 5/8, 3/4 mark, it's really tight, especially at 4.
Well, he's the fastest of the Ram trucks. He's 17th right now. Corey LaJoy right behind him in 19th. Minnie Terrell right there as well. Brendan Queen actually jumped up too. He's in that mix.
And Caden Honeycutt has made his way out onto the track for his first lap here.
All we do is win, win, win.
No matter what.
What?
Pretty amazing just what he did. He said, I didn't have my first win coming on a road course on the bingo card. He said he has raced on 6 road courses in his life, and to be able to come out, go from the back to the front to win it last week after leading just 2 laps.
It was impressive the last 2 laps, I'll tell you that. As you saw, just precision driving, and you got to be full committed there as well, especially with the heat he had on his back bumper.
Michael, the Truck Series, we've been on fire the last couple of weeks. The shows these guys have been putting on, no doubt we'll have the same thing coming up later this afternoon. Kyle Busch doing his thing, getting a little low right there.
Fox UFL Friday kicks off a special weekend of football.
Like right before the bounce, or almost at the same time as the bounce. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the left front is creating this. There's a lot of instability, but I definitely can't attach to those. Quick as the bounce.
Going on the wheel on entry all the way to the center, especially in 3 and 4.
Why don't you think about just throwing some rounds in that left rear? Left rear, maybe. Like that. I want to pull one of the foamies out in that left rear and put this in its place. We got to be in the gas way sooner on exit.
I got it.
Maybe just play with how you enter turn 3. There's some trucks making speed that aren't that big wide arc, but then others do make that arc. So you just kind of figure out where your truck is. But turn 1, you went straight at it and it really just hugged the yellow line. And your teammate's car or truck looks really good.
Gotcha.
Some right rear adjustments here. Tires still look really good. I don't see any cords yet, so I think we can keep running on this set some here. Copy. Showing.
And just carrying speed from center out all the way down the straightaway. That's our only loss. Go to chattering after that, like just have no front turn on landing on load.
So you gonna tell me those shocks weren't any different?
No, it didn't feel much different, I'll be honest with you.
2-3 on pit road right now.
Give my tablet if you got it.
10-4. I'm gonna need something to help me wrap with the front end and not drive
Seen
through the front
these
tires.
racetracks that were going to. Mini Tyrell 8th. That was his career best finish. Of course, AJ Allmendinger on a road course. That was their best finish this year, was 6th for Ram.
Boy, I like this view here. As a former driver, what it takes to be fast at Dover. Boyer making some laps here. Watch that tachometer. You see how many RPM he's getting out of that Ram truck of his. Working that steering wheel off the corner. His fastest time's 23.25. Last time 23.6. So I don't expect a lot of fall off, and we're not seeing it. I'm really interested in, Jamie, tire wear. We talk about the track prep, the resin, and NASCAR working the track from wall to apron. You can see that groove really getting burned in there. That means I got to be a little bit of wear on those tires.
And for this practice session, we don't normally see it, Michael, but these teams are allowed to use 2 sets of tires for this session because we haven't been here in 6 years.
It looks like a pretty good handling truck. He talked about it being tight off, said it was pretty good in right here. Right now, pick on the gas. This is when you might want to just squeeze that steering wheel more to the left than he's able to because of the fact that it's pushing a bit.
See there, Boyer so far the fastest of the 5 Ram trucks. Take a look at Mini Tyrell.
Mini's fastest lap is a 23.75. That's about a half a second off of what Boyer was able to do.
Mini said, not only am I trying to learn these tracks for the first time, but I get here and I don't know how to get into the track. I don't know where to park. We don't know our way around. So everything is so new for these young drivers.
You know what our friend Larry Mike Reynolds would say? He's drinking through a garden hose or a fire hose. What is it?
The fire hose. It's like drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah.
Larry Mack is all over it. You'll see him on the air coming up at 3 Eastern. In a rarity, we're going to have the Cup cars on track for 90 minutes later today, Michael. It's All-Star Weekend.
I was going to say, I've drank through a garden hose. That's not that big of a deal. A fire hose would be quite a lot different. I get that now.
Yeah, makes sense, right? Chris right there, the 81 for McAnally Hilgeman Racing, hearing he had a little issue out on track moments ago.
Looks like they're pulling out that right rear fender like he got into the outside wall, which if you're able to back her in and have the team do minor adjustments after wall contact, here you see him on the inside of Natalie Decker, and he just slides up. And that wasn't the wall that he got. He got into the side of that 22 truck. They'll fix that. Obviously a difference in speed there. He probably overestimated how quickly he would catch her down into the corner. And I know Nico's Bagels and Brunch here was surprised by this contact. Let's listen.
I tried to come in. He hit me pretty hard.
He was just inside of you and got loose down there. Don't worry about that. That's Chris Wright. He's terrible. You got that right.
Well, that was mean. He's not terrible.
Just trying to make their driver feel a little bit better.
Yeah, that's right. Encouraging her. That was not your fault.
So they brought it in to take a look at Natalie Decker's truck. She tried to make the race last week, Tony Breidinger as well, and both had to go home. But here we have 36 trucks for 36 spots, so everyone will make the field. So we take a look at Chandler Smith, little red and white.
Yeah, the Pete store.
Yeah, different for him. Second in points right now. Lost a little ground to Caden Honeycutt last week at Watkins Glen. 29 points separate them now.
You could see him wiggling and bobbling there. He's back in 26, which is crazy to say. We saw that truck not handling well. His teammate Lane Riggs is all the way back in 17, so something's going on here. We usually see these trucks in the top 5 in practice, but today they've got issues. Have to figure that one out.
They've got issues, but meanwhile, it is a Ford on top of the board. Ty Majeski fastest so far, 10 laps in.
You could see the way Chandler whipped that truck in there. He's not happy.
Fix it.
We need some work right away. Check in on his partner in crime, Lane Riggs. He's giving it up as well. Brings it right to pit road.
Lane Riggs with that big win at St. Pete. Big IndyCar, NASCAR weekend down there. And again, not a driver that we would circle as a road course racer and just put on a show down there.
What about the fastest cat in Delaware?
Ty Majeski, I talked to Joe Shearer, his crew chief, and he reminded me, Michael, that he won 3 straight races here back in 17, 18, and 19. So he knew the setup. He said our setups don't evolve a whole lot with the trucks. So he expected to be pretty good, and so far they are. Back on board with Boyer. He is turning some laps here today, Michael.
Well, he's actually completed the most laps of everyone, which makes perfect sense. The veteran Boyer is. He knows that.
Copy that.
He knows that truck's close. He's able to run some good average lap times deep into a run as you see him really up on that wheel. So he knows it's close. He wants to just see how it falls off. He's got all kinds of knowledge and experience, Jamie, from the trucks all the way to Cup, from Dover to Daytona. It doesn't matter. He's been there, done that, won everywhere. Very talented racer. I think a lot of times we lose sight of how good this man is behind the wheel of a race vehicle, and him being out there right now, it's just got to put a big smile on his face, because I'm sure he was scared and worried about what might happen, but he was also had to be pretty confident that when he hit that first turn and felt that G-force and the truck gripping in the corners, he said, yeah, I remember this and I like it.
What other things does he need to go through right here, Michael? Just getting onto pit road, getting the countdown, listening to the spotter. Because remember, this is a whole new team around him. He doesn't know all the spotter, the crew chief, the team working on the truck.
There's about 1,000 things that he's got to figure out, and
I got a little better there.
he liked his truck. He seems very calm right now for Clint Boyer. I like the way he said that. I got a little better there.
He's got to be having a blast.
Eco save. How about
laps.
that?
Entry into 1 just a little bit, just like a quarter car. Entry to 3 is good. 10-4. Biggest hole is just coming off at 2 right now. Everybody else split by about 20 if you want to wait for that. That's after the 11, also center of 3 now. Just coming off of 4, 62, then 11. 11 line now. Just into 1. Just coming out of 2. 2 of them split by 7. 11 is off now, follow 62, all clear. You go hard. The 1 blending with us, coming off the road with us. About 4 back, 2 of them by himself. By 3, he's got a lot of laps here also. This guy's trying to get us behind last time. Try to achieve that, I just wash up. 3 and 4, he probably has almost the whole truck width under him. And the 3 and 4, and then the 62 and 3 and 4 is maybe half a truck width off through the middle.
Yeah, I mean, it can hook and kind of come out from underneath of it. It's fine the way it is, but the front end just gives up and starts washing out.
Yeah, we're up over 14, it's charging.
Copy.
Middle of 3 and 4 is our hole. Exit at 4 now. Half a track behind them. The 7 and the 13 together, they're into 1. Outside 13. You're all clear. Start finish line now out the back. They shallowed their diamond up to left side just at the rubber.
Floaty in the nose, like maybe we're too high. Turn 4, straight away behind him. 3 to come by. Flag staying now to 17. Into 1. Flag staying now behind you to the 26. Good to dig right there.
1 minutes remain. Ty Majeski on top. We talked about the front row motorsports trucks, Lane Riggs, Chandler Smith, not up to the speed that we typically see.
Nowhere
Amanda,
near.
yeah, Amanda, what are you hearing?
Yeah, they just got Chandler Smith back on track. Both trucks reporting that they are just way too free out here. I was over talking to Dylan Capello for Lane Riggs. They literally pulled up a Word document on the computer, and the title says, if we're way too free and need to be tighter, this is what we do. It listed 3 different bullet points of how to get this truck right on the better path here today. They have Chandler out there, as I said. They're hoping to get Lane Riggs back on track here early, just as soon as they can to take advantage of this practice. But also wanted to report, I'm hearing a lot of chatter from drivers down here that they're hitting the splitter as they're into the corner. Christopher Bell and his crew chief were yelling, this is going to mess us up all night if we don't figure this out.
Well, that's all the speed, Amanda, that they carry into the corners. If you just miss your setup or your heights by 1/8 of an inch, you can pound off that road because of how much you can look ahead there. Look how you're going up the front, the straightaway, and then you just dive down into the corner and land right there. And when your truck lands, that's when it needs to be at its best. And if your heights are slightly off, that big splitter across the front of the truck will hit the road and mess you up. You can dig this. When the front end hits that splitter, it's very, very solidly connected to that truck. It lifts the front tires off the road because the front end doesn't give. That means the tires aren't getting the grip they need.
Carson Hocevar seems to be pretty happy with his truck. 23:07, his fastest lap, 5th quick. He continues his busy wave week after week. He's just getting asked to do more things. And this week, I think he's the one that asked. He wanted to go up to Indy. That's right, checked out some practice time with our boys Hinch and Townsend. Will Buxton kept him in the booth a long time. Michael, he was so excited. He said growing up, that was his favorite place, that he always dreamed of racing in the Indy 500. I wouldn't be surprised personally if we saw him attempt the double maybe next year or the year after, but he stayed after. He went down, you know, on pit road and talked to the guys, sat on the timing stand and just wanted to watch cars go by without a headset even on. He was just having a great time.
Well, with IndyCar being at Phoenix earlier this season, as you see Carson slipping and sliding there, kind of loose up the racetrack. He's run 18 laps, pretty consistent lap times for the 77. I like the way the truck looks right now. But what I was saying, I talked to Graham Rahal, and he's almost as tall as me. So when the talk started of Carson running IndyCar, I'm thinking, wow, that's going to be a close, tight fit. But it's doable, and that's all you need to hear as a driver, especially as a tall driver, that you can do it if you do desire to do so.
You know what's interesting about him? What did we say? He's about 6'4", but he's all leg, Michael. So that's got. I heard Hinch talking about the difference. If you have long legs and a shorter torso, that is good for an Indy car where your head doesn't stick out so high. But he's back at his day job here, and he's been running a lot. He's already done 7 Truck Series races this year. He's got a win to his credit. One just a couple of weeks ago, kept that momentum going at Texas.
There's a guy that likes to race every chance he gets. I remember Ross showed up, I think it was 2015. He was running the O'Reilly race on Saturday when he first showed up, and he put in a solid top 20 effort. And I remember we did the broadcast that day, and I remember thinking, Dover's a tough racetrack. And that car he's in, it's a top 25 car, and he carried it all the way to nearly a top 15 finish. And those are the kind of notes as a broadcaster and a former racer you put in the back of your mind. You're like, all right, let me keep my eye on this cat. And wow, what he's been able to accomplish in NASCAR, the wins he's had and the job that he's done, it's just been incredible.
Sunday racer, Sunday winner. He's come so close to a couple of Truck Series wins this year, Michael, but just came up short at Darlington. And then last week, that restart violation just bit him. What could have been, right?
Speaking of tall cats, Parker Eatman, he's probably my height as well. We were talking earlier about fitting in a truck here. He's a short track racer from North Carolina, and he said he ran a couple of the short track races early in the season. He said, put me on the big tracks. I love this. And here he is getting to try it all out at Dover. 28 quick so far with his best time. But again, this is the first time at this place. He's learning. And I wondered how it was. Last time I drove a truck, I basically had to cross my legs in the cab to be able to fit. He said he's tight and his knees are way up, but there's room for him in there, and he's loving every minute of it.
Remember back to St. Pete, we talked about this, Michael. Jackson Lee was in one of the trucks for the first time. He couldn't feel his legs, Michael. He was so tall and didn't have time to adjust, and there's not a lot of room to move around in these truck cabs.
There's not. You got plenty of headroom, which is nice.
But as far as moving your seat
no
forward and backwards, you got what you got.
As you can see, nice line for Parker. He's doing a good job making lap after lap. He's up to 17 laps now. That's what I would encourage. If the truck's handling well, go out there and give me all you got for a while, and let's let you figure this place out.
It's William Sawalich, regular in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, making his 3rd Truck Series start of the year. Had a nice top 10 at Darlington. Michael, we know how good these Tricon Garage trucks are week in and week out. I mean, look at the paint schemes. They're like cup cars in the Truck Series. They just come so prepared. They're always fast.
That's my favorite thing, Jamie, about wandering around in the garage area and talking to some of the drivers, listening to their stories. But, you know, it's more than that for me. Oh, look at that. Wildly loose there, and he'll say that's enough. It's enough. But I like checking out the trucks and how they're pieces of art. The way they move the fenders around and the C-pillars, all the things they do to try to get aerodynamics to keep this from happening.
The moment right here for Sawalich. Woo. He said, okay, I think I'm going to bring it in.
I think we need an adjustment. And I think we need a break. What do you think, Jamie?
I think so, too. Ty Majeski still on top with the time to beat. Just under 15 minutes remaining here from the Monster Mile.
As long as you can, roll around here. Keep coming. First gear. 3, 2, 1, right there.
Two more coming at you, still won't have a gap behind the 17. One more here. And you're good there, all clear. Just exiting 2.
Time here, we're continuing to build the exact same way, just freer, trying to get to that wide open at any point in the corner. Entry's still my strong suit and my strength.
Copy all that. You feel like the rubber on the track's making it freer as well instead of tighter?
I do, yes.
Pull it up at all, or it's actually laying down?
I think it's laying itself down there.
Copy. Give me one in the left rear.
Track as we get on old tires.
Yeah, copy. That's definitely a concern. I felt myself maybe being subtle with my hands, right at max compression and right after max compression. In 1 and 2, the last 2 to 3 laps there, also knowing air was hurting that as well, but still I think it was starting to limit me for sure, like on what the back could take.
Copy that. All right, I'm going to make sure we're all dialed in here. Make sure Jake's all good. I'm going to give him a little air pressure adjustment. So I'm going to make a small adjustment in the back. I'm just going to put a little bit of cross in the rear only, leaving your front alone. I'm pretty happy with the platform, but I wouldn't mind being just a touch more left front up, right front down, which this wedge is going to do that as well.
Drop in the track bar. I wouldn't mess with the aero balance that we've established now. For final adjustments. Right now, we have about a little over 10 minutes. We're going to do a mock run here.
Yep, sounds good. It's on that black line. I feel like that'll be the best thing for him to, see, right?
Lanes, I feel more stable. The rubber's not tightening me up at all, so I'm not on the other side, even close.
Definitely better.
It threw the right rear. It was a softer landing.
Get in both corners when that right rear would start picking up load. How much more of that can you take? Let's do another step of that. Copy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Amanda. If it were like normal, it would be a bigger story than it is. I know they're struggling with the tires falling off, but they aren't wearing out. That's the big deal.
Well, let's check in and hear what Boyer thinks about his truck and the tires.
I don't know if that helped or hurt it, but it's damn sure a lot worse. From my experience 15 years ago, you can't trust that.
You think the tires are shit, or you think we can still make adjustments on these?
Oh,
They're beat, but they're not wearing out. You know, they're just giving up somewhat. The lap time also, I'm going to say this hasn't fallen as much as I thought it would. So great job by but they're not wearing out.
You think the tires are shit, or you think we can still make adjustments on these?
Oh,
They're beat, but they're not wearing out. You know, they're just giving up somewhat. The lap time also, I'm going to say this hasn't fallen.
Years ago, let's take a look back, Michael. A little flashback, a clip.
To victim right there. They're going here at Dover. That's exactly it right there. Big crash for Boyer. Luckily, he's walked away. There you go. Ooh.
No small hits here.
Nope, not at all. There's the man.
So Boyer has turned 31 laps today. 17th on the board, and he is the fastest of the 5 Ram trucks. Michael, he's our colleague. He's one of the TV guys. What do you think we just dial him up right now?
I think we should give it a try.
Okay.
Hey, Boyer, it's Waltrip and the Fox team. You hear me?
Hey, Big Daddy, how are you?
Big Daddy's good. I know your tires are beep, but overall, you got to be really impressed with yourself or pleased with this practice session.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm so damn old I can't figure out the board, so I have no idea where the hell I'm at. But it felt decent. Felt like Dover. I miss this place. It's a fun racetrack, fast racetrack. My gosh, it's fast. That bank feels good, saves you. Always a 5/8 to 3/4 mark's the important part of this place. You can make your car turn there, or Ram truck turn there. That's the ingredients you need. So working on that. Hopefully we can find something.
Right on. Well, I look down the list, and the first time it says Ram is by the name of Clint Boyer, the fastest of those Ram trucks. And so we just watched you have a big crash here about 15 years ago. Keep all 4 wheels on the ground and keep digging, buddy.
Thanks for the reminder, cowboy. Later.
Later on.
Boyer will get back to his regular job on Sunday for the NASCAR All-Star race. Looking forward to that.
Giorgio, 4th quickest so far. You can see him having a good practice session here, working to the bottom of the racetrack under Parker Eatman. Done in 1 and 2. Hanging that back end out a bit. That's Dover right there.
He was another one last weekend, Michael, at Watkins Glen. We thought, man, this could be his day to get his first win. And then this happened on the restart.
Yeah, he was a bit perplexed about NASCAR penalizing. You see that little bump there? That little bump could have happened at a worse spot for Giorgio. He was on the front row getting ready to do his thing. The restart zone was just a few feet ahead, and he gets a little bump in the back, and he said, I better go. And he went, and NASCAR said, we got to penalize you for that. You left too soon. That was, you know, are there ball and strike calls like in MLB? If it, you know, they get them overturned sometimes. To me, that one didn't need to be called, but it was circumstances that led to that unfortunate penalty.
Look who's back out, Clint Boyer. More laps around this mile. We'll be back from Dover.
Get behind the 27, good gap behind her, coming outside. Let's go. Next 2 into 1 behind us now. First one will be the 91 coming outside, then the 2, and then 5 behind him, the 19, just stay low. Outside 19, clear. Let's go.
Yeah, 1 clear lap.
One outside. What'd you say there, Destiny? I think I walked on you when he came up on you.
Truck turned off.
Oh, 10-4 turned off. 2. Middle of 3 and 4 on the 13. Turn 4. Go ahead, dig. Go ahead, dig. Go ahead, dig. Go ahead, dig hard, straight out. Flag staying now on the 42. We got a gap behind him if you need it. Into 1. Center. Good to dig right there. 12 back. 10 back. Dig hard. 7. 5. Good.
Getting back to throttle. The rear end wants to kind of have a control slide coming out. It's not like it's going to turn me into the wall. It's not like an abrupt loose. It just starts giving up on me.
Copy. 10-4. See me. 2 lanes up in 1 and 2, just trying that. That when he was running the 80s run and maybe make him run again and then think of another change.
Yeah, still we're on one set of tires at 40 laps too, so not far out of the lap time range.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just watching the truck. I'm just...
Leave yourself an out.
$22.98, so.
All right, these guys down here are waiting to do mock runs.
Suarez, our amigo, joining us here in the booth. Jamie Little, Michael Waltrip with you, and Amanda Busick covering all the action on pit road. McAnally Hilgeman Racing, not off to a blistering start here, Michael.
No, that's tough. We talked about front row and their struggles. Those continue. But this is even to a different level. You see Tyler Ankrum and Christian Eckes 29th and 30th. That just doesn't make sense to me.
You know, Eckes was here 2 years ago, and he was contending for the wins week in and week out against Corey Heim, and then he stepped up to the O'Reilly Series. Now he came back, Michael, and it's a different team around him. They've already made some changes this year, trying to get better and go in the right direction. And we've seen, you know, flashes of brilliance. Michael, this was here 2 years ago, and he was contending for the wins week in and week out against Corey Heim, and then he stepped up to the O'Reilly Series. Now he came back, Michael, and it's a different team around him. They've already made some changes this year, trying
out and making some runs. You see there on the left, Kyle Busch is fastest, Carson Hocevar second. Both of those runs have just happened.
They get those extra set of tires that we don't get to see him play with normally.
Go out there and shake the rust off. Figure out what it might be like to qualify in a little while.
Nice shot of the 7 truck for Kyle Busch. Las Vegas native Brian Patty, his crew chief, longtime crew chief in NASCAR from the Cup Series.
I walked by him this morning, and he I don't know what was going on in his world, but his game face was tight. Like he just gave me a little bit of a head nod, but that's about it. You could tell he had a lot going on, and you know, Patty's the man. He runs a great show and does a great job for Kyle Busch and that whole team.
You know, I talked to Brian, gosh, a couple of weeks ago, and he said he feels this responsibility when Kyle Busch is in his truck because things haven't been going well on the Cup side, that he feels like Kyle's reputation in a way is in his hands here. He wants to give him a truck capable of winning to show that his driver has not forgotten how to drive. And of course, they got the win earlier this season at Atlanta. There's Brian Patty on the right-hand side.
Well, what I love about Kyle Busch, he ran 43 laps. There's guys that had run more than that, but that is among the most. He obviously wanted to go out and make a qualifying run. He's fully committed. He came here for this practice session and this race today to make sure that he does everything within his control to win this race. And I think that practice, he's 3 laps.
Got the win early. He said,
you know, Patty running his
Brian Patty
runs have second. just about a 1/10 of a second off of Kyle Busch's fast lap. It's always fun for me, Jamie, to watch this leaderboard jumble around here late in the going. We went for a long time and pretty much things were set. Now it's just going every which direction.
Well, we've got 1 minute remaining here in practice, and then we'll have a 10-minute break where they'll switch over and qualify. They'll get 2 laps in qualifying, duke it out, see who lands on the pole. William Sawalich has made some gains, up to 4th.
Good lap there for William. That'll make him forget about that big slide he had. Everybody tuned everything up. Thank you, guys.
It's a good looking truck.
Starkey on board.
So Kyle Busch, Ty Majeski, Carson Hocevar, William Sawalich, and Christopher Bell, your top 5. Ben Rhodes, haven't talked about him yet today. He's been there in the hunt since got out on the track for his first laps.
Look at that leaderboard switching around. Ruggiero up to 3rd. Ben Rhodes hops his way all the way to 3rd. Good run for Ben there. Had a tough Watkins Glen issues with the transmission. You can see the yellow lights flashing there. This session will be coming to a close.
Black and red flags are in the air. So Kyle Busch ends up on top. He wins practice with a time of 160 miles an hour, 22 seconds around this place. We'll see if he can maintain when qualifying is coming up next.
This is the
color.
A little more. I want to look at this splitter. We'll take the right front shock off. I'm going to work on it a little bit.
And I can't tell you that I'm in the shaft springs too hard if I don't have enough bar, if I have too much bar. I can't tell you, and that's how far off it is.
10-4. I got you. Yeah, give me that right front shock. I got to work on it a little bit, and we'll be good.
Give me a second.
Do that.
The movement. I feel like my yaw and my entry security is pretty good now. The biggest thing I'm struggling with, like I said, would be that initial throttle pickup and being able to just pick up throttle and squirt through the rubber. I just overslipped the left front tire for just a small duration, but that probably bleeds all the way down the straightaway.
Okay.
I have a marker real quick.
At the right point, we lose our speed by just not getting back to the throttle as quickly. So anything we can do to promote that is going to be helpful. I will also say on entry, it looks like we could just do a little bit more arc. We get to the bottom a little bit soon, and that is going to promote that push up in the center. So I'd say a little bit bigger arc earlier on the throttle would be the 2 things I would try to see if you can tangibly do here in qualifying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I'm seeing.
Under wedge in the back, 4 down track bar, done.
It's loaded up, right? But it won't affect entry because you're so light until you load it up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Wash, so I will have to back up off the throttle. By the time I'm coming out of the turn, on exit, I'm I'm flat out. But I can't get flat out when I'm almost out of exit. I have to pretty much wait to the end of it.
Carry more speed as if I have slower hands down to the bottom to help me not get to the bottom so soon.
Corey, look at the drive shaft and all that stuff. Make sure we're still good here. Master power on. What's your water temperature look like right there?
It's saying no data. Is there a different switch?
No, just turn your ignition on and that should illuminate the dash and then it'll show you.
Tomorrow.
Wow, it's just so cool watching those athletes do their thing, isn't it?
They're incredible.
Incredible.
I mean, the level that they are now, and we'll get to see them tomorrow. It'll be during Cup Series qualifying. Well, the fastest man here in the Truck Series, Kyle Busch. Let's hear from him, Amanda.
Yeah, Jamie, we were just talking about practice, and we looked at the leaderboard and said, it looks like things went well for you. And he said, yeah, pretty good. What makes Dover and Kyle Busch so synonymous?
Besides, it's a place where you just got to go all out and hang on. That's about it. You know, it's a intimidating racetrack for sure, but you know, coming here early on with the right mindset of being able to attack and just go get it, and it's just kind of worked ever since. So if you can get the vehicle to respond to your attack and be stuck and feel good, then that just gives you even more courage. So feel like we got a lot of that going on with our HendrickCars.com Silverado, and feel pretty good about the balance of it, and hopefully we can qualify up front, stay up front, and keep that baby in clean air.
When I got over here, I saw you talking to your team. You were making little hand movements. If we're fine-tuning this truck now, what are you looking for?
Yeah, fine-tuning. Just like 2 areas of the racetrack we could be a little bit better on balance, but it's very small, and truck feels really good. So obviously happy with the overall speed of it. Hopefully that lines up for a good qualifying effort here shortly, and that's what we did. We mocked at the end to give us a good baseline and felt really good. So hopefully that'll be a telltale story of what's to come tonight.
Thank you, Kyle. Jamie, I think you can see the crew is busy over the wall here getting these trucks ready for qualifying. It's on deck.
What I love is we heard courage, commitment. Those are all things that Kyle Busch has and what you have to have here at Dover.
A happy Kyle Busch is a fast Kyle Busch.
Smooth, you don't have to get too big of a hurry. Don't want to knock it off the track. Up a little bit, right? Don't overdo it, but that's really where the time loss is. The truck is there, you know?
So it's what you say is like just focus on rotating.
Not past the point that you're confident, you know, brake, but definitely I think you can drive it in. That's kind of where your biggest loss is. And obviously with this cloud cover, it's going to feel pretty gripped up first run on your mock run.
Sorry, one more question. Can you also call the flag for me for my qualifying?
Yes, since it's 2 laps.
Water temp.
A second, I'm looking at it.
Yes. Got your power load. Set this left side down, please, and grab me a couple microfibers.
3 minutes right now. Do you have your bar load? On the racetrack.
Okay, perfect. On the racetrack, then once I come here to the start finish line, that starts the first lap, right? Then we get another one.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2 here, but yeah. But that's it. When you, the first time by, it takes a green for sure.
Yeah, this should be
Okay, 10-4. Your first lap would probably be your best with the new tires. Just be committed for it.
Tight. I think we're all collectively just a little tight at that 3/4 mark. It's important here where you don't want to be tight, to be honest with you, but you know, that's the reason. It's nice to have 4 teammates. My gosh, 4 teammates over here, and they all know what they're doing and know these trucks. So I'm trying to ask them and catch up as much as possible, but I am happy to know that I'm fighting the same things. Don't have my wires crossed just quite yet, but felt pretty good. You know, I got some long runs in, and that was good. That was what I was wanting to do. I was hoping I'd be close enough that I could do that, and that's what I felt. So so far, so good. You know, I was thinking this morning when I woke up, this completes the gamut. I am now an official mutt. I have been with every manufacturer in NASCAR. This is the last one, and I'm glad that I'm going to be ramming them out there.
Are you having fun?
Hell yes. You know, when you're racing, and racing's not fun. Winning's fun. That's why you do all this. The work, the preparation, and all this stuff that goes into it isn't fun at all. It's very serious when you get to that elite level in the Cup Series. But I've never ran a truck race where I didn't have fun. You know, back in the day, whether it was RCR, and then when Kevin and Delana put me in their trucks at KHI, this series is important to our program with NASCAR. It's a great stepping stone. The trucks are fun to drive. They got a lot of drag. You know, good side force. You can kind of get away with a little bit more, and then you come to a track like Dover with the banking. I tell you, there's not a lot of throttle out time. I wasn't ready for that, and that makes it harder to pass. So that'll be something to try to figure out in the race. But so far, so good. I'm having fun.
Well, something else that must be fun is you have your son with you here, Cash. I was talking to him off camera, and he said, I sure hope my dad lets me get in a truck one day. What's your pitch to your dad?
Drive good, don't wreck.
That's what you have for me?
Yeah.
That's my advice for today? Drive good and don't wreck.
Yeah.
That's not what you said when we woke up this morning. It's just Dad and son flew out here. He woke up this morning. He said, Dad, don't suck today, all right? So I don't know. Are we sucking? I don't even know where we're at. I don't know how to run the board they gave me, so I got to get somewhere where I can see a leaderboard.
No pressure, guys. No pressure.
20th.
I'm 20th. We might be sucking.
Boyer was a heck of a racer in his time. 16 years in the Cup Series, 10 wins. Michael, you said it. He jokes a lot. We joke a lot with him, but talented man behind the wheel. Good to have old man Clint Boyer back in our field. Yes, the final win, Michael, at Martinsville there. Yeah, little Cash was a little boy running up to him. All these winning moments. O'Reilly Series champion. He's done it all.
Far to the left.
Minutes before we go here.
just trying to keep your pads relaxed back.
Grab the windshield cover.
Go back up two on that second bar.
About 2 minutes. You go straight up on the track. 2 laps. If you can tell Jake, I see him walking around, you don't have to blend over into just the Cup cars. We can go straight up on the track with the Truck Series. Yeah. All right, they acted like it was some change from earlier.
I thought they hated each other, but then other times they love each other, and now they're teammates. I think they're going to be battling out here for the win later on today. So how fast is this place? Well, I'll tell you that not all mile tracks are created equal, Mikey.
They're not, and you can see it's all about the banking in the turns. And Dover has a lot of grip with the concrete surface, but the banking just makes it the fastest. Rockingham, for me, back in the day when I raced, both these places, they were the same. It was all about commitment. And then you go to Phoenix, and you go to New Hampshire, and then it's more about technique and working your way through those flatter turns. But wow. Dover.
How fast is this place? Well, I'll tell you that not all mile tracks are created equal, Mikey.
They're not, and you can see it's all about the banking in the turns. And Dover has a lot of grip with the concrete surface, but the banking just makes it the fastest. Rockingham, for me, back in the day when I raced, both these places, they were the same. It was a lot of grip.
Well, I'll tell you that not other times they just call it trotters.
Is that what they call it? Is this what they call, there's horses for courses?
That's right.
There's, and you know what
it's
I did?
Harness racing. How cool is that? That's why they do have lights on the interior on that track, but not on the big track.
And let me tell you, I'm from Kentucky, and I raced a harness horse here one day.
You did?
Back in the
cool as Bookie. Michael, do you?
Me happy to be going to New Hampshire. It's the fastest.
Didn't equal my teammates. I think they're going to be battling out here for the win later on today. So how fast is this place? Well, I'll tell you that not all mile tracks are created equal, Mikey.
They're not, and you can see it's all about the banking in the turns. And Dover has a lot about.
Let me show you something. Other times of lights on the.
Cool. Back in the day, we got
qualifying single. Fired up and ready to go.
Well, one thing she knows for sure, she's going to race. So that's a lot of pressure off. Having to go out there and put the lap time down right off the bat without seeing other trucks go. And another thing, Jamie, that I like these days, much different back than when I did it. We used to wait for 2 or 3 hours after practice to go qualify. And when you're the first guy out after waiting that long, the track, what's it done? How's the weather changed? All those things were big factors. Here, they just finished up practice. She still has her adrenaline pumping from that session, and now she's going to go out and lay down the best lap she can.
34-year-old from Virginia, NHRA drag racer on a motorcycle throughout the years, and she's always wanted to get to NASCAR. She's raced in the ARCA series a few times, had a top 10 in her debut last month.
Wow, she put it in there, drove it down deep into turn 3, and that's why it slid up a bit. But that's a good feeling, getting to know the parameters. Understand when you hold the gas down on entry, what the truck does in the middle. Probably the hardest she's run today was just then. See if she can figure out anything about that first lap.
Michael, what's it like going out first?
It's not good. And like I said, especially, I don't have anything to compare it to today, but I think it's easier today because you just finished running. The track hasn't changed, so you're pretty confident in what you got. She was able to run a little bit faster on lap 1.
Here's Tony Breidinger. She used to run full-time in the series. Now she's running with 2 different teams part-time. How about that sponsor, Coach handbags on board?
Those are nice, aren't they?
They're beautiful, and she gets a lot of attention outside this sport, and she gets people to come on board and become part of NASCAR that have never taken a look at the sport before.
I went down and checked that truck out earlier. It's beautiful. They talked about the art that these machines are. It's a really, really good looking race truck. She runs just about 1/10 and a half better than Destiny, so I think Destiny's got to be pretty pleased with her effort. First out, trying to make her first start ever. Tony's got a lot of experience and just tells you she put down a good lap. Oh, that was close, Jamie.
Right when you said it washes up the racetrack, but she catches it.
Checker flag, you can shut down.
Yeah, shut it down and get your breath.
Her first lap was good enough there to go to the top.
That was
truck, she's on top with a 23.58. Let's see that one again.
This is as close as you get to wrecking without wrecking. Dives in, cuts the middle. Look at the back hangout. She corrects it and just snaps up the hill. Nice job hanging onto it and keeping control. You don't want to dent up those coach purses. I heard they're expensive.
They cost a pretty penny. It's pretty neat to see. All right, the 93, Caleb Costner is up next from Dallas, North Carolina.
Dallas, North Carolina. Caleb's a good dude, really working hard with this team.
Michael, you sponsor him and work with him, don't you, a little bit?
We're going to have a little get-together next week over in Cornelius, North Carolina, and celebrate kicking off the Coke 600 weekend. We're going to have some sponsorship on the side of his truck, but mainly we're just buddies. You know, Caleb's one of those cats you just pull for. Not a lot of speed in this truck yet. He's got to figure that out, and I know that's his goal, but just doesn't look like it's handling exactly right. A little bit buffety, if you will, in the corners, and so not a great run there for Caleb.
Here's the 22 of Natalie Decker. That's right, we have 3 women in the field, and that's the first time we've had 3 ladies since 21 at Knoxville.
And she was on the track walk this morning. NASCAR is kind enough to open up the racetrack for the competitors and teams to go out and look around, just see what they see, take in all the different bumps and where the track has been ground, and just mainly look at things and understand it more closely. And Natalie was one of the handful of drivers that were out there checking it out.
Natalie's a newer mom. I think probably about a year now. She races sometimes in the O'Reilly series, so she's got a lot going on. Not easy to juggle all those things. First lap of 23.99. See if she can improve that at all here.
Looks like maybe she had a smoother lap too. See if that meant faster. Yeah, quite a bit.
Moves into second.
Nice job.
All right, this man, you say it, Michael, this cat was fast in practice for not having run here before.
So I called him a cat. Clint called me Big Daddy and a cowboy. we're going down the road here, aren't we? But what speed this cat has had, though, all year long. When he first showed up, his single lap speed, as you see him, hear him hitting the rev limiter there into the turn, that means he did his job off turn 2 to get that thing wound up. This is going to be a really fast lap.
3 top 10 starts for Cole Butcher this year.
That is the 3rd fastest time of the day. Only Kyle Busch and Tom Majeski faster in practice. You hear him hitting the rev limiter, this could be even better. He hit it longer. These engines only like to turn a certain amount of RPMs, and when you get the speed going early off the corner, you're going to hit that limitation later in the lap or earlier into the corner, and that's what you're hearing there. And he went to the 2nd fastest guy of the day and the fastest of this session. I wouldn't be surprised to see him hit the 21-second bracket.
Okay.
Jamie, that's going to be crazy. That's fast.
Well, we've got 4 Cup Series drivers in the field. We'll see what they have. Kyle Busch, Carson Hocevar, a couple of them. Christopher Bell still to come. Ross Chastain. Grant Enfinger, they need to turn their luck around, Michael.
Yes, and this is a great place with the experience and knowledge and ability that Grant has. This is a great place for him to do just that.
3 straight weeks at 27th or worse. Qualifying hasn't been terrible for him, but something or another happens in the race, and they just need to right that ship.
You know, if you go down the interstate for 1 mile and you run 60 miles an hour, it takes 1 minute. we're running around this racetrack a mile in length in 20 seconds. So if you're home, you're thinking, well, how fast is that? Go try, don't try that on the interstate. But that's how fast it is. That is crazy to talk about. And they're making 4 turns too, by the way.
The lateral G sensation here. I can't imagine. Here's Chris Wright. Saw he had a little moment, a little adventure.
Eventful practice session, let's call it.
He did.
Oh, he's still having that thing did not handle. Yeah, it got really loose. That was a spotter. I don't think Chris has caught his breath yet. You could see he was committed though. 23-17, and this the unfortunate part, Jamie, about that big bobble he had in 3 and 4, it not only hurt that first lap, it's going to hurt the second one. He could run faster here for sure, but it took away his momentum coming to the white flag, and that hurt that lap as well. So really an unfortunate spot of the track to have an issue. He does go faster, doesn't improve position-wise though.
Oh, Bell back in action. Got the win earlier in the season at Bristol. He got to run a race for this team last year at Watkins Glen, Michael, and he just was smiling the entire time. He decided to sign up for some more. As we take a look at the ghost truck.
Really solid lap for Christopher. Able to gain all the way around the racetrack. 22.37. The track record here is 22.30.
We're flirting with it.
That's going down. Although you got to think that, and it might go down right now. Christopher Bell might just break his own record. How about that?
I feel like we've had a couple of races like that already, Michael. We've broken some track records. Was it last week? I think we broke a track record.
A little slower on lap 2.
Okay. So a 22.37 will stand for Bell at the top.
And that means he went out and did it all on lap 1. Got it done as efficiently as possible because he had a great second lap, just wasn't able to pick up any speed.
It's Luke Baldwin for Team Rayom.
Now that would look like a really solid entry to turn 1. Ran in there low, kept it low. See how bumpy this place is? Even a great lap, there's some bottoming out on that left rear fender, or excuse me, side skirt. Good lap for Luke. He got down into the 22s. He's 4th so far. That looked better. Really hugging that bottom. Good handling truck.
Luke Baldwin making his 3rd start this year. He told me he has 10 more races scheduled. Not easy to jump in and out, but he's making the most of it. Let's see if he can improve on the second lap.
He does.
It's just ever so slightly. 4th for Luke Baldwin. Well, plenty more drivers still to come. How about that man? Carson Hocevar looking to capture the pole, but he's got to go through him. That's Ross Chastain. They're all coming up.
Copy. For the 2 out of the top 3.
On the right rear pressure.
He was maybe 2 or 3 feet up off the bottom. Seemed like he was wide open 1 and 2 for sure. And then 3, he maybe just had a little courtesy lift on entry, but just barely, if anything.
I'll drive the trucks to the cup garage.
Just watching that. We were a little shallower. Entry 2, 1. It pointed quite as well. And then carried a little bit more center speed and back to the gas quicker. Yeah, 10-4. they're all down here at the end of pit road in turn 4. After everyone gets done. Corner. Copy. On the track, hasn't he? Yeah, he's way too high. Yes. Everybody in 3 and 4 running that line he's running currently, or are they low? The fast truck's lower than that? 62 is on the apron, as low as he could make it. 4. Commit. 100%. Breathed it a little bit at the 3/4 mark both sides, but he seems to think that by the time we go out, it'll damn near be wide open by the time we go out. So just let Stewart know maintenance throttle. Copy. $15 ran up there, but it wasn't on purpose on his money lap.
Grip, you know, it cools the track off, and you kind of want to see that cloud cover come in, be your friend. I don't know if it's enough today as you see bright sunshine there to matter, but Ben goes second quick. He was third in practice, so he's got a fast number 99. It's got to feel, I just like listening to the sound of the rev limiter hitting, and you just knowing that you've done your job. You've got to that turn as efficiently as you can. Now let's just let it pop, 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 pop on that limiter, roll out of the gas a little bit, and see how fast you can get back in it.
So second for Ben Rhodes as we take a look at Frankie Muniz. The Hollywood actor, he's been busy. He's got the reboot of Malcolm in the Middle. He's been promoting in Hollywood and LA. He's racing in another series, going for a championship in sports cars.
Yeah, I said he was nearly right there racing for the lead in that championship. Missed last race here with us, but he's right back at it. Beautiful number 33 truck.
It's GT4 America, I believe, that he's running. So he's getting a lot of seat time.
Yes, he is. He loves to race. Whatever he can get in, he loves to race.
Frankie was on the path to open wheel racing. I believe he did a little Indy Lights, and then he found his way over to stock car racing, ARCA Series, and now full-time here in the Truck Series. So Frankie, 8th overall as we take a look at Carson Hocevar.
This will be a challenge for C-Bell to turn away. We know how fast he was in practice. Hocevar was 5th at a 22.74. He'll need to pick up about 0.4 of a second to get it done.
Gosh, a half of a truck length off and falling farther behind C-Bell.
Can't quite get there. He goes 4th quick on lap 1. See if he can pick it up on lap 2. Nice exit there to turn 2 for Hocevar, but he gave up.
That'll do it.
It's interesting.
Carson Hocevar. May as well save a half lap on your tires, right? These guys have to start the race on the tires that they qualify on. A little bit different rule than in the Cup Series.
Yeah, you got to give it up for NASCAR, the Dover Motor Speedway staff, and Goodyear. We didn't see the wear nearly that we were worried about in practice earlier, so a lot less of a concern. Just go racing this afternoon.
That's right. They got the resin laid down earlier this week with the tire dragon, and they don't expect to do it again. Just a little bit goes a long way as we take a look at Spencer Boyd in the 76, making his 7th start of 2026.
Number 76, Spencer Boyd.
Best time in practice was a 24:36.
Get her down into 23s here. He'll be happy.
$23.98 on lap 1.
Well, I didn't mean just into the 23s, Jamie.
Maybe a little bit more here. You think he has a little bit more?
Let's get her down about a 60. 23.60, then we'll be happy. This will be his 7th start of 2026.
The do-it-all man runs the team, the sponsorships. Up next, the 16 of Justin Haley, one of 5 Ram trucks. He is first out.
First of the Rams, see what they've got. I expect throughout the summer months and into the fall for these trucks just to get better and better as they continue to build a notebook, develop their strategy, and race forward.
2 previous starts here, 3rd and 8th.
Well,
It's been a minute though, Michael. We haven't been here in a while.
He was 8th on that first lap. 22.84.
That'd be a good pickup for him.
Good run. Competitive. Let's go with the Melon Man.
Ross Chastain. Thought we were going to be throwing and smashing a watermelon last weekend, Michael, late in that race. Got the restart violation. His day was over, and then he had the big crash. He had a hard hit on the front stretch.
I believe, Jamie, it could have been as long ago as, it feels weird to say this because it's Ross Chastain, but we went up to Maryland, left Dover and went to Maryland, as he goes second quick. Good lap, half a tenth off. Can he get it done? And we picked some watermelons one day. Harvested watermelons, understood, learned a lot about the process, and a lot of fun doing that. So I've known Ross since, was that 15? When did he show up? Russell, do something besides look at me weird.
Maybe 2012. So Ross Chastain with a 22.42. Second, William Sawalich, Tricon Garage. Not the best qualifying effort so far in his first 2 outings. See if he can right that ship and improve a little bit here.
First time he's raced over in a truck. Good thing to check off the list, you know.
He reminded me he raced ARCA here, and he got about a half of a race in last year in O'Reilly. And the day ended early. All over him, Michael. Look at this. Loses a bit there.
First lap wasn't great, but
off of 2.
He came to the green or the white flag with a lot of momentum. It's like he can pick up here.
Bell just so good off of 4. Sawalich 8th.
Picked up his speed, but not his position.
Dawson Sutton, haven't talked about him today, Michael. Had a good practice round.
Yeah, he was one of the first drivers to hop out there on the fresher tires and make a qualifying run, and it was a fast one. He wound up 13th overall, went to the top of the board at the time, but he's shown great speed lately. Think about, was it Bristol when he had a problem in practice, flat side of the side of that truck, fixed it, drove up to the top 10? That's the kind of stuff you remember as a young racer, and getting your feet under you in the truck series. Those kind of performances, and especially when you do it at Bristol, you say to yourself and your team says, well, if we can do it here, we can do it anywhere. Well, at Dover is another one of those places. If we can get it done here, they're going to talk about us a lot this year.
Nice shot in the arm for that team there. He's got a teammate this weekend, Tony Breidinger. His teammate, it's got to help just to have somewhat, you know, some feedback, just to know what you're dealing with, if you guys are feeling the same things. Plenty more drivers still to come.
Copy, I'll try to have them climb in a little bit early and just walk them through some of that. Copy. You guys got me? Yep. Like, the car is not right, but you can't make it right until we get to the right spot too. So this will be a good chunk tighter for him. So hopefully it's got enough security for him. Yep, for sure.
Chuck 1 2, Chuck 1 2.
It's good. You can lock down the wedge for now. Yeah, you're pretty straight right there. You look straight. Yeah, I can't go off of that. When the power steering cuts on, it changes it. Skunky, okay? Smells very skunky up here. Someone's smoking some good stuff.
Week at Watkins Glen, was on the pole at the first race of the year at Daytona. Michael, are you going with him?
I am. He's my pick for the pole.
Okay.
And I thought they would run down into the 22 or 21s. I'm not quite as sure about that now, but I do believe they're going to break the track record.
So Majeski was a 22:54 in practice.
Look at that. If he can just have a corner like that in 3 and 4, he will definitely break the track record. Oh, here comes Bell.
And to the top. I think you know what you're talking about, Michael.
He's my guy. See if he decides to run another one out here. Got a bit of an advantage on Bell. He lost a little time in 3 and 4 to Christopher. See if he can clean that up in lap 2. Looks like he did.
Way better radius.
Way better radius, the spotter says. 22:28. That is a new
track record. Well done, Ty Majeski. Parker Eatman, 19-year-old. He is a college student, Michael. Going to school in the Charlotte area. He's studying construction management.
I'll give him this. That was full commitment into turn 1 for never being here before in a truck, and just everything that's so different about these things. He really ran it off in there. Nice lap. He'll go ace so far. I just respect that. You know, a short track racer comes here, figures it out in a hurry. He only had 50 minutes, right?
50 minutes is all.
That's impressive. That's something to hang your hat on.
Second start of the year, too. Qualified 8th, Michael, in his only start at Rockingham. So Eatman will stay in 8th right now with a 22.61. Stuart Friesen, best start of 7th. Actually, only 2 teams this year have captured a pole, ThorSport and Tricon.
Not a good exit there for Stuart.
Remember, he's teammates with Christopher Bell, who just got knocked off and currently sits in 2nd.
Little wide there off turn 4. Not the best lap for Stuart. He'll go 6, 22.55. Ran a lot of laps in practice, trying to get ready for the race, and that's you know what you'll say as a driver and as a team. After that lap, we can win from there. You know, we have enough speed. We have a good enough starting position where we can go get it done. He runs better on lap. Friesen, good job.
Lane Riggs.
Uncharacteristic, really challenging practice session for the front row trucks, both he and Chandler Smith.
Lane found a little bit more speed toward the end of practice, ended up 9th overall.
Look at him, he looks like so precise in there, like a surgeon, just gently working those hands to get that wheel to the left, then having to correct it to the right. Laser focus there underneath the shield of that helmet.
You see the speed, 168 miles an hour around this 1 mile banked oval.
He'll go 4th so far.
4. What was your best the first lap? 55 on the second.
Tyler Ankrum, another one. Michael kind of had a scratch in our head. Speed just was not there, was 29th on the board. He and Christian Eckes, one of his teammates from McAnally Hilgeman Racing, tracking 17th early in this first lap.
Ugh, not any better. Maybe they made some changes that he needed to fill out. See if he can. Let's be optimistic, and we're going to pick it up on lap 2. Lap 1, Ankrum went 22.98.
So 17th for Tyler Ankrum. Andres Perez, the driver from Mexico City. We'll have Daniel Suarez, who's from Mexico City as well, in the booth with us this evening for the Truck Series race.
I was going to say, I love that turn, and then the tracker pops up, and there's a good reason why I loved it.
Tracking in the green.
Oh, he's losing it off 4. Darn it. We had it. Now, I talked earlier, that momentum you lose off 4 when you mess up on lap 1, rolls into lap 2. Losing that momentum. He was so close. He held an advantage the whole lap. Just couldn't finish it right here. Looked like the truck might have got tight, pushed up the hill. Great effort, though. 4th quick so far for the 44.
His best effort this year, Michael, 9th. Only 1 top 10 start. So far, so good today. Corey LaJoie.
I always like finding him in the morning, checking out what he's thinking about his Ram truck and just truck racing in general. He loves doing this. He had on a carbon fiber cowboy hat that he made himself at their shop in North Carolina. It was pretty amazing.
He's in the seat business like his dad right now, Michael. He's got a whole business going, hired some people, and keeping him busy on the side along with running full-time here in the Truck Series.
Decided to board on lap 2. The truck just didn't handle through 1 and 2. He'll just settle in on lap 1, which was 22.93.
As we take a look at Mini Tyrell, an update on Indianapolis practice. The weather has passed and IndyCar practice will be starting on the Fox One app, and we will take you there at the conclusion of Truck Series qualifying. The boys will have things covered. The drivers are getting boost up there today, Michael, and I'm curious if we're going to see a new track record up there as well. Connor Daly's been fastest at 228, the top speed with that horsepower boost, Michael. They're looking at 8 to 10 miles per hour increase, maybe 236 to 238 today. So you'll want to tune in. We'll have it on the Fox One app right now and switch over after truck qualifying right here.
Wow, great lap by Mini. He goes top 10 at a 2.254. I'm not sure I wouldn't have aborted after that, though. He got really high off 2, and that just shows you. I talked earlier about preciseness. You don't have to be right next to that bottom lane. You can wander around. We've seen that early. Mini was really high on lap 1 and was still able to run top 10 speed.
Christian Eckes.
Not a great practice session for Christian earlier. See if he can turn that around. A couple of teammates right now, 19th and 20th. See if he can rally here in this qualifying session. Just really head scratching why these trucks haven't shown the speed today. Well, he put him 18th on lap 1.
See what he can do here with this second lap. Coming off of 4 for Christian Eckes. And he will stay 18th. Next to qualify. The
create shape, I feel like it's super beneficial, but I don't think it's worth it, if that makes sense, if we're trying to optimize qualifying.
I'll let Tyler interject if he saw anything different, but coming to the green, everybody just pretty much from the bottom, just a small diamond, nothing major, just getting a big runoff for you, know what to do.
Ask, find out any throttle. I'm assuming our guys had to lift, it sounded like it.
Yes, for sure. The 45 and the 44 are the fastest bow ties at 3rd and 4th at a 42 and a 43. Ross said he is still dealing with a bounce at a 3 as well, but felt like it was a little better. Just got a little tight on his first lap over in 3 and 4. He had a pretty good one in 2.
Okay, copy. But he was able to keep his momentum, I guess. Surprised me that he ran as fast as he did. He ran rubber 1 and 2 off of pit road, and then like a lane up 3 and 4, and then came down to the bottom for exit. Copy. Save it for the race. 4. It was not wide open. It went above the rubber, and it was about a lane and a half, or a half lane above the rubber, and then a lane off the outside wall, in 1 and 2. Like 2 lanes up, 3 and 4.
And stayed there throughout the entire corner?
Yeah, copy. created a little shape to leave lower and straighter, but didn't come down all the way. I would call him still like he migrated a half groove.
Kill your lap.
Yep, you're right. You just do your deal.
Lose a little bit here in 3 and 4. Give him third so far. Great lap. He cleans up 3 and 4. Might have a shot at this thing.
A lot of cloud cover, Michael. Most of the track right now under clouds. Is it enough? He'll stay third.
Third
Jake
so
Garcia.
far.
Yeah.
Good run for Jake.
Gio Ruggiero. Nice launch up onto the racetrack. Tricon Garage, 5 trucks in the field.
Gio has one ARCA start here at Dover back in 2024. Finished second. So he's familiar with these high banks of the Monster Mile. I like the way that thing sounded on the front.
Hear that rev limiter you talked about, Michael?
That's a big part of this game.
So you want to hit it.
You want to.
Entry to the corner. That's a good thing.
That's a wonderful thing. And the reason being is means you got all you could get getting to that point of the racetrack. All the engines are limited the same as Gio's second quick, only a half a tenth off. So close. As a driver also, Jamie, it gives you confidence that you did that. And so you just want to pound it on down into the next corner. Say, I'm on one here.
Not enough on the second lap.
Close.
Brendan Butterbean Queen. Talked to him in the garage this morning. Top 10 last weekend. Michael, he said that it was the ARCA race here last year that got him this ride in the Truck Series. Chris Rice saw him win that race. He goes to Waffle House. He's got the trophy with him, and he gets a phone call, and it's Chris Rice from College Racing. And he said, I want you to come drive for us. So he met with them, and here he is.
Looked like a good lap.
You never know who's watching.
Smooth lap. Yeah, I talked to Butterbean earlier myself, and I said, he's like, how frustrating it is, you know, get excited over at top 10 after all the winning he did a year ago.
Yeah.
And I pointed over to that 12 truck in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series with the name Queen on the side of it. I said, buddy, that's got to make you feel good, though. You got a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series ride, and you're with a great organization. He said, Mikey, I remember that. I try to remind myself of that all the time. What an opportunity it is.
Well, here he is, the man of the hour, Mr. Clint Boyer. Talked to him on the radio. Amanda talked to him, and his son Cash. Let's see what he's got here, Michael.
Well, the fastest 2 Rams so far are Minnie Tyrell and Butterbean Queen.
11th and 12th. He was the fastest Ram in practice.
It's going to be a decent lap. 17th on lap 1. A little rusty is Boyer. See if he can clean that up on lap 2. Nice turn here. It sounds like they're you know, not even anywhere near all the way out of the gas the whole lap. Lap 1's going to be the lap of record for Clint. He'll start inside the top 20 or so today.
Rowdy Bush.
We expect this to be pole contender.
Fastest in practice. 22:44 was the time there.
I said we might get it into the 21s. We've already set a track record, and this is going to be right at the 21s.
To the top.
First. Lost a little bit of speed off turn 4, but really fast in 1 and 2, as you can see there, even on lap 2, faster than Majeski.
Second.
So 22-25. Kyle Busch has won the pole here twice before.
Thank you.
Does the shrug. Darn it, just got knocked off.
Shake it off. Got a lot of racing to do this afternoon.
Daniel Hemrick, one of those McAnally Hilgeman trucks we talked about. 4-truck operation. Off on speed so far this weekend.
Yeah, their best truck is 23rd. That's just mind-boggling.
Did have a great run last week. Michael finished 4th at the Glen, 7th the week before. They certainly needed that.
They're on a roll. They've got some good speed and overall, and that's the fastest of the 4 McAnally trucks. He went up to 13th, so good speed here.
Goes from 13th up to 8th for Hemrick. Brandon Jones. See this season in the O'Reilly series, you see him full time.
Oh, wobbly. A little wobbly in turn 1 and 2. Good speed though.
3 top 10s in a truck here for Brandon Jones.
Just an impressive young driver. Been that way ever since he showed up. He'll go 7th on lap 1.
29-year-old from Atlanta, Georgia. Finished 4th in his only truck outing this season at Texas.
Might pick it up a little bit here on lap 2. Yes, he does. Up inside the top 5. And then there were 2. Great minds, right, Jamie?
That's right, Michael. Good people telling us what's happening.
Oh, is that what it was? I thought I just thought of that on my own.
So Chandler was one of those we talked about. They were off, not happy with the handling of these trucks early in practice.
But Lane Riggs rallied with a good qualifying effort. He's top 10. Looks like Chandler's got good speed as well. Really loose was the report early in practice. See if they can get these things tidied up a little bit.
14th.
Chandler ran a 22.50. Just about 600ths off of his teammate. Another good 1 and 2 for that 38 truck. He lost most of his time in 3 and 4. See if he can clean that up. Looks like it's better. Yes, it is.
Moves up 1 spot. Final truck, Caden Honeycutt. He said it's great to be the point leader, great to have that win. I get to go out last in qualifying and see what everybody else has. Know what I need to do. There's that rev limiter there. Look at him all over Kyle Busch.
Oh, Kyle gets off turn 2 just a slight bit better. This is a race that's not over yet. Close enough to get there.
After lap 1, 4th quick.
He's going for more, Jamie.
He's a 2-time pole sitter this season already. Needs a little bit more to beat Kyle Busch.
2-time pole sitter, 4-time winner last weekend. That's pretty cool. I think he's going to settle in 4th.
And he does, and that means Kyle Busch captures his first pole of the season here in the Truck Series. And Amanda is with him.
And a nice thumbs up down here for Kyle Busch. We talked to you earlier, and you said that Dover is a place that you just have to hang it all out there. How much of that was on display here?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of guys were. I heard a lot of on throttle time. So, you know, it's just a matter of how fast can your truck carry you, right? So, Brian Patty and these guys got our Spire Motorsports Silverado tuned right up, and so it's nice to put the HendrickCars.com Chevy on the front row here on the pole and lead the field to green. So, want to keep it out in clean air and make this our race.
Good luck tonight, Kyle, looking for his second win on the season here in the Truck Series. And back with us for the first time since 2024 is Clint Boyer. You hopped out of that truck, not necessarily happy, but you said that you'll have it for the race tonight. What will change?
Well, just more laps, right? I knew qualifying. Have you ever seen me qualify? Qualifying's always my problematic area, but just still kind of tight with the front end, and you can't really hold it wide open like some of those guys because it starts to push through the front tires. So we've been freeing up. Then you got to be careful of getting the rear end out from underneath of it. But at the end of the day, we are having fun. There's a bunch of Rams out there, and we're all together, so we'll probably be racing each other all day. But I think, honestly, I think this track's rubbering up quite a bit, and I think trucks will fall off, and if I can keep my balance underneath of me, I think we can pick up through a few of them.
Do you have another job today?
Yeah, I have to go back up there. I was trying to figure out how to get up there, and there's the wall is shut down, the track's shut down, so I'm going to have to go all the way around and find Harvey. That guy. I'm sure he's got a lot to say about it as soon as I find him, so I can't wait to see my boys.
I think I finally got a little smile out of him down here, guys.
Yes, you did. I know he's having a good time. We're looking forward to seeing Clint Boyer in the Truck Series race coming up. How about this? Our official starting lineup for tonight. Coming up at 5 p.m. Eastern. Kyle Busch on the pole. Ty Majeski with his second straight front row start.
He was my pick to win the pole, and I think I'm going to have to go with Caden Honeycutt back-to-back to win this race this afternoon. I know Kyle Busch is in the race, which usually means Kyle Busch is going to win, but wow, our truckers have proven how good they are week in, week out.
How about row 9, Carson Hosebar? Going to be fun to watch him come up through the pack. Chandler Smith, mentioned him, somebody to watch.
Tanner Gray had a really loose truck in qualifying, good truck in practice earlier. Justin Haley, another one of those mini Rams that my friend Clint Boyer spoke of. They're all throughout this field.
Tony Breitinger, Natalie Decker. Destiny Spurlock is making her Truck Series debut, so congratulations to the ladies in the field. Tonight's going to be fun. This place is great, Michael. You've talked about it, just how intense it is. Full commitment racing.
Well, and we saw in practice and qualifying, you're not just married to the bottom of the racetrack. There's going to be trucks running all the way out next to the outside wall. Options. That's what drivers love. Give me some options when I get to the corner, and I'll take advantage of that. We're going to see them 3 wide during this race. We're going to see a lot of action. This place is fast and furious. It's going to be a great night.
How about half the field has not been here before, so they're about to get a lot of it, drinking from a fire hose like we talked about. Well, we have plenty of action still to come today. We have a 90-minute Cup Series practice that's coming up at 3 Eastern on FS2, and then the Echo Save 200, of course, coming up, the Truck Series race at 5 o'clock. This week on an FS1, we have you covered for all things racing. And coming up right now, my friends up in Indianapolis, it is Fast Friday. We've got you covered for all of us here at Fox Sports. I'm Jamie Little. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you on FS1 at 5 o'clock Eastern. So long.